One of the latest aviation videos to go viral shows off the Boeing 787 Dreamliner rehearsing for the Paris Air Show. It's not often that we see airliners perform maneuvers such as a steep climb, but this video demonstrates the Dreamliner's ability for a gorgeous takeoff. While the 787 has experienced some setbacks in the past, it continues to wow everyone with the cool technology that the airliner is capable of. The VE-Day Arsenal of Democracy celebration over Washington, D.C. may have appeared to go off without a hitch. But what most didn't realize, is that one pilot experienced what he thought to be an in-flight fire during the stellar flyover. Smoke appeared in the cockpit as the TBM Avenger pilot was flying in formation with several other airplanes. The pilot acted quickly, reported the emergency, opened the windows to clear the smoke, and made a perfect landing at the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. The pilot later reported that there was a hydraulic leak, which caused the smoke to appear. The TBM Avenger pilot released the intense video of his emergency landing and an assessment of what happened. Many of you remember the 2013 viral video of 6-year-old Lainey Woodson experiencing the unbridled joy of flight for the first time in her father's Piper Cub. Now an even more heartwarming video has surfaced of 4-year-old Leela Goumier giggling in the skies over Quebec, as her dad Raphael performs aerobatics in his Citabria. This wasn't Lee's first flight, but it was her first time experiencing inverted flight. Although they speak in French, Lee's infectious reaction leaves no doubt as to her true feelings about the experience. We've all seen robotic arms busily building cars on an assembly line, spinning and whirling with impressive precision. But you've probably never seen anything like this. Researchers in Germany have connected a robotic arm to the cockpit section of an airplane to create perhaps the world's most realistic flight simulator. Designed by the aeronautics firm DLR, the simulator uses a large mechanical arm built to swing around a virtual sky and runways and taxiways. From the outside it looks like a large industrial robotic arm with a cockpit, but to the pilot inside the simulator, it feels like a real aircraft. The designers think they are getting close to offering a version of the technology for the simulator market that could possibly revolutionize flight training. During a fishing competition in Argentina, 3 men riding in a boat came within just a few feet of the landing gear of an airplane flying overhead during a startling stunt caught on video. Though this video is only a few seconds long, this flyby stunt still manages to push you to the edge of your seat. One of the boaters captured the moment, giving us a first-hand look at just how close the plane was as it buzzed by. The final harrowing moments of a deadly mid-air collision were captured on video as a Cessna 185 floatplane collided with a Cessna 172 in Alberta, Canada. The pilot of the stricken 185 made an emergency landing at the airport in Fort McMurray, flipping over after touching down. A search helicopter located the Skyhawk in an isolated area about 30 miles east of Fort McMurray, but unfortunately none of the 2 occupants aboard survived. Video of the Cessna 185 crash landing shows it overflying the airport with only one float, which dangles precariously from the airplane. Upon touching down in the grass, the airplane is seen flipping forward, and moments later, the pilot can be seen running from the wreckage. Hollywood CGI has been getting pretty good, but in this movie there was no CGI. Tom Cruise was actually strapped onto the outside of the fuselage of an Airbus A400M and went for the ride of a lifetime to get this shot. However, Cruise was actually nervous about this stunt, and confides he couldn't sleep the night before the shoot. He feared for his life as the A400M accelerated on the runway and lifted off into the clear blue sky. The 4-engined turboprop then circled around to land with Cruise still holding on. What's even more remarkable is that the Hollywood star didn't do it once, he performed the stunt 8 times for the scene. A KLM Boeing 777 was captured on video while making its way into Amsterdam Schiphol Airport during the Netherlands' worst July storm, according to a report by Reuters. In the video, the Boeing 777 continues to rock violently as the pilot battles high winds, until it finally touches down on the runway. One can only imagine the sigh of relief the pilots and passengers released once they were back on solid ground. A pilot successfully ditched the Cirrus he was flying 250 miles short of Maui, Hawaii. A Cirrus aircraft representative reported that the pilot was ferrying the airplane from the west coast of the United States to Australia. The flight departed from Tracy, California, heading for Kahului, Hawaii. The SR-22 had flown for 14.5 hours before it was ditched. The Coast Guard reported that the airplane had run out of fuel. Cirrus spokesperson Ben Kowalski pointed out that the deployment was planned and that the pilot knew for some time he would have to ditch, which allowed him time to contact the Coast Guard, which, as you can see in this remarkable video, was ready for the rescue. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe or follow me on social media to discover more facts about aviation.